Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited because coming up today, we're going to be visiting with Donald Trump. Okay, we're not really going to be visiting with Donald Trump, but this dude that we're going to talk to is a spot-on Donald Trump impersonator, and he's on Conan O'Brien. He's on a bunch of other national programs, and you'll know why when you hear him during the interview. So I want to visit with him and find out what has it been like now that Trump is running for president. He's been doing this for 12 years. Mm-hmm. So what has it been like now that he's running for president? Has that helped your career? I'm assuming
it has.
I guess we're going to find out. Hey, a driving test center in Britain closed because candidates are spending their exams stuck in traffic, and examiners are frustrated in not being able to test candidates properly. They'll spend up to 30 minutes stuck in traffic for a 40-minute test.
Yeah.
So they closed that center, and they're going to hopefully open a different one in a different location. But then again, that's part of driving, so maybe that should be the way it is.
Well, at least you can test people's patience.
Yeah. A Georgia couple won big. Chuck Hill won $5,000 in the state lottery. Now, that doesn't sound like something worthy of the news, $5,000. Well, his wife had to beat him the next week. Karen Hill won $1 million.
Holy cow.
So they won the lottery twice in 2 weeks, $5,000 from him and then $1 million from her.
That's awesome.
We're doing this, the radio lotto pool thing, and we've not won $1 million yet. But
not yet, no.
Hopefully one of these days, radiolottopool.com will pay off for us. I guess we'll find out. Coming up in a moment, we do have some special things happening today. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, July the 13th, so happy birthday to my little brother, Joe. I remember picking on that dude a lot growing up. So, Joe, I'm sorry for picking on you so much, but hopefully we'll make it up to you. I'm going to send him to the UFC fights tonight for his birthday.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
That's right.
so
I forgot about that.
Happy birthday to you. Also, take a look at what we have going on this day. Embrace Your Geekness Day. Hey, I've been doing that since the day I was born. It is Gruntled Workers Day. No, not disgruntled. This is gruntled. So apparently that's a thing.
What on earth is gruntled?
I think it's happy. You're not disgruntled. You're gruntled.
Okay.
I think somebody just wanted to make a point that, you can be happy too. National French Fries Day. We're going to celebrate by having some French fries.
Love
I know you do.
French fries.
There'll be times we'll be sitting on the sofa. We're like, let's go get some fries. It's usually
Which
right
explains our physique.
It's usually right after a McDonald's commercial. I don't know why that
Yeah.
is. And today is World Cup Soccer Day. So celebrate that by, I don't know, maybe getting in a fight with a stranger. That's usually what happens with this. All right. Get out there and celebrate. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A Diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Next time you're in Colombia, take it easy on the gossiping. The town of Iconzo, Colombia, has made it illegal to gossip.
Oh.
Yeah, no kidding. Under the law, malicious gossiping can be punished with a $75,000 fine
Whoa.
or 4 years in prison. A city spokesperson says people should be aware that using their tongues to speak evil is the same as having dynamite in your mouth. Wow, that's quite a quote.
I actually think that's
The town's
wonderful.
mayor, Jesus Ignacio Jimenez, defends the new law, saying, "What worries me is the amount of people going to prison or being killed because of gossip." So he's
Yeah.
saying, I understand what you're saying, gossiping. You think that maybe that's not such a big deal. Well, we see how many people that it affects. There are people that go to prison because of somebody else's gossiping.
Yep.
There are people who are being killed because of somebody else's gossiping. So quit doing that. Hey, by the way, I want to get to some juicy gossip right now. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any juicy gossip. I try to steer
think
clear
that's
of
a
that.
great thing. I think if you're going to say something purposely and maliciously that is not true about someone, that's exactly where you belong, is in prison.
And here's the thing. Tell the truth. Is it still gossiping if it's all true? Is that the truth?
No, it's not gossiping if it's true.
I don't know how that works. I'm not. Again, I try to steer clear of that. I remember. Oh, do I have it here? No, I don't. It's on my. I don't know where it is. I have a little. It was a fortune cookie that I got. I don't know, 10 years ago, probably more than that ago. it was just such a cool thing that I kept it.
Probably more than that ago. Is that a sentence?
I speak the English. I don't know that I said any of that stuff. Anyway, this little fortune cookie, the fortune on it said, what did it say? It said something really good. It said,
that was a great story,
honey. It was
honey.
a big buildup.
That was a great
something along
story.
the lines of big minds talk about ideas. Average minds talk about things. Small minds talk about people.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, that is so great. Coming up, we've got some stories about people. And it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. Stealing right in front of the police is either a really gutsy move or maybe your brain is on drugs. Authorities say a man walking through a security checkpoint, this was happening at the Pinellas Courthouse, tried to steal an expensive watch just feet from deputies. The sheriff's office reported that a man who had emptied his pockets to walk through a metal detector complained that his $1,000 Wittenauer watch was gone. First of all, I've never even heard of a Wittenauer watch.
I haven't
it's
either.
$1,000. Must be one heck of a watch. Deputies played back surveillance video, and they found a 53-year-old man was the person who took the watch.
Aww.
He was in the courtroom attending a pretrial hearing for a charge of selling cocaine.
Oh, so
he makes
hasn't
a lot of
always
bad
made the
decisions.
best
Yeah,
choices.
deputies searched him, and guess what they found? A watch.
Oh,
it was
man.
a $1,000 Wittenauer watch. The suspect was arrested and charged with grand theft. He's later released on $5,000 bail. So, yeah, that's not a good plan.
No.
So he was going to court for selling cocaine, and while he was there, thought, hey, I'm going to get a memento, this dude's watch. All right, coming up, we've got a moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Christopher Leach Connor was upset that the open box monitor he purchased from Maryland Best Buy was incomplete. Rather than being responsible and courteous, he committed a moment of duh. Open box items are electronic goods that have either been previously returned or used as floor models. In Connor's case, the monitor came without a power cord, software, manual, or warranty.
Whoa.
So he tossed a ream of copy paper into the box the monitor came in, and then threw in some other papers for good measure. Then he went back to Best Buy saying there was no monitor in the box. He threw such a fit, they gave him a new monitor for free, but the store's manager spotted something among the papers in the box. It was his resume. They sent police to his home. They got back the new monitor and charged him with misdemeanor theft. So when he was throwing stuff in this box to fill space, he threw in his own resume. So they're like, wait a minute. You were the one that put this stuff in here because it's your resume in here.
Right.
You're trying to tell us that somebody else put your resume in this box?
Right.
Yeah, that is your moment of duh. We have your scoop of the day on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Corporations can now sponsor U.S. national parks and monuments. So Washington Monument is going to be sponsored now by Viagra. So I'm just kidding. It's
It
not.
is not.
It's not. That part was a joke, but the first part was true. Corporations can now sponsor U.S. parks and national monuments. So it'll be interesting to see who comes up with some clever things to sponsor.
But you know what? That's not a bad idea
not saying
because
it
they're
is.
just costing us
Yep.
money right now.
And now they're saying, hey, this is a way for you guys to make some money. All these
Right.
thousands of people, millions of people that go and see these things, they're be sponsored by somebody. After a suspect led police on a manhunt in Brazos County, Texas, officers apprehended him with the help of some cows. You heard of cow tipping, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, these were cows that were tipping off the officers. While evading officers, 24-year-old Samuel White allegedly hit another car and crashed into a field before running away on foot. Authorities say he was eventually found laying in a nearby field. They say what gave him up was a bunch of cows that were standing there staring at him, and he was trying to get the cows to walk away. He was hiding in tall grass. let's say that he was caught by the
They
law.
were just
They were staring at him.
him.
They're over there looking at him like, what's this dude doing here? Let's just say that he was caught by the longhorn of the law.
Oh my God, you are so...
Are my jokes not hitting today?
No, they're awful.
I think they're funny. I put a lot of time into this. If you'd like to read that story online, we've got it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Scientists are working on a treatment that they say may extend the lives of dogs. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
Dogs, we've got 2 dogs. And
We do.
I want them.
Love
we've
our
already
dogs.
We've already agreed that these will be our final dogs, so we're not going to replace them.
Right.
So I want to be around as long as
them.
I'm not going to. Well, you know what I mean. What usually happens, you lose your dog, you're like, well, we'll go get another one. So it's we're not going to do that now. So. A man in a fake beard attempted to rob a SunTrust bank in Rockville, Virginia. He walked into the bank wearing a hoodie and a fake beard, but the fake beard kept falling off.
Oh.
Apparently, he needed some money for a strap for that beard. 57% of women say they'd rather be rich than maintain their ideal weight forever. What would you say, Heidi?
I would rather be rich. Yes.
Would you really?
Yep.
Like, hey, I'll be overweight. I can do it while I'm poor.
I'm going to be
Why not?
overweight anyway. I'm going to be overweight whether I'm poor or rich, so I might as well take the money.
There's no percentage for men, but I'm sure it would be more than 50%. We're like, what the heck? I don't care. I'm already overweight. So yeah, give me the money. For years, cranberry juice has been touted as the natural way to prevent and treat bladder and urinary tract infections, but comprehensive review of studies has found that the claims may have been a little overhyped. Certain sugars and a type of enzyme called flavanol found in cranberries have been thought to prevent infections by keeping bacteria from clinging to the cells in the urinary tract. Results from a review of 24 studies that include about 5,000 people suggest cranberry juice may only be helpful in select few women. That's worked for you, though, hasn't it?
No, you know what does work for me?
What's that?
Apple cider vinegar.
Oh, really?
It's disgusting. It's awful, and you want to gag every time you have to do it, but it will.
Works.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the doctor if
There
you
you
get
go.
one. I haven't had one now for years. I used to
Awesome.
get those
See?
things all the time.
High five.
Right?
While easy to blame Facebook for feeling disconnected, an article in the Relevant magazine says quitting social media altogether might not be the answer. The article says social media didn't invent jealousy or time wasting. The problem is not Facebook. The problem is us. So they're saying it's what we're doing on there. And if you get off there and you do that in person somewhere else, you're still going to have a problem. It's a decision that millions of Americans face every morning, to take or not to take. We're talking about multivitamins. Now a study of almost 15,000 men over the age of 50, popping that daily supplement could cut cancer by as much as 8%. So they're saying, hey,
8%.
to take. And finally, Robert Padilla his day started with him wanting to get his driver's license, ended up with him being arrested. 44-year-old in Portland, Oregon, he went to get his driver's test, and it went off to a bad start when he shifted gears and he hit the curb, an automatic failure. Then he pled with the instructor, Ruth Ramos, for another chance, but she refused, so he took off driving, would not let her out.
Oh, my gosh.
Finally stopped at an intersection. She was able to jump out. She reported him, and he was arrested and charged with second-degree kidnapping.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, no, give me a second chance. I can do better. I'm serious. I'm just going to lock the doors and drive. I'm sure you'll pass
I
me
don't know
then.
what he thought was
I
going to
have no
happen.
clue. All right. That's your scoop of the day for a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us today. I don't know if you know this, but he's running for president, Donald J. Trump. We got him on the line. Donald, are you there?
Absolutely, John. I'm so excited to be on your show, I have to tell you. But listen, I think you know I'm a marketing genius. I think you know that, right?
Definitely.
And I think the first thing we need to do is change your name to Biggs. It's going to be John Biggs because you're huge, my friend. We've got to get you off of the smalls and onto the bigs. And that's a free one. That's a free one. See, I'm making America great again, and I'm not even elected. It's incredible.
That is awesome. And now this campaign so far has been really fun to watch from the sidelines. What has it been like to be the one in the spotlight and all eyes on you? What has that been like, Mr. Trump?
Well, honestly, that's been my entire life. My entire life, everyone's been looking at me and looking to me, and now I'm finally on a platform where I can make really incredible changes, like the wall along the southern border. By the way, a lot of people know it's going to be called the Trump Wall or the T-Wall. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. 2,000 miles, 55 feet high. And a lot of people don't know this, John. A lot of people don't know this. But I'm putting a spectacular Trump hotel on top of the wall. And all of the windows are only going to face the American side.
That's awesome.
Really, really incredible. And on the Mexican side, painted over and over again, is going to say, "You've been Trumped, suckers." So they're going to get the point. Let me tell you something. And they're going to pay for it, frankly. They're going to pay for the whole thing. It's really, really going to be amazing.
Okay. I gotta let the cat out of the bag. We're not really visiting with Donald Trump right now, but it sounds exactly like him. Visiting with John DiDomenico. How are you doing, sir?
Good, John. How are you?
Fantastic. I got to just say, you do an amazing job of becoming Donald Trump, because when I listened to you just now as we were talking, you sound just like the guy. Now, you've been doing the Donald Trump impersonation for quite some time, haven't you?
For 12 years, right before right at the end of the very first season of The Apprentice. By the way, #1 rated reality show ever. Absolutely incredible, I have to tell you.
And I watched that. It was a great show.
Oh, it was a really great show. I'd always been a fan of Trump, and I'd gotten a call for a voiceover on a Friday, and they said, "Hey, I was always like a go-to guy for kind of tough voices in the New York and Philadelphia area, and and I also do anything, like, hey, dress up like a polar bear. Okay, I'll do it." I love those type of guys. We call them a frisbee catcher in my business. But one of my agents called me and said, "Hey, there's a voiceover on Monday for Trump. Can you do it?" And I was like, "Oh God, Trump." I said, "He's not really in my wheelhouse." I said, "Can you give me like an hour to see if I can actually try to get it?" And I sat down and I did some quick research, and no one at the time was doing it. Like 12 years ago, there was Phil Hartman. He had done it on SNL a few times, but there really wasn't anyone else. So I ran out and bought the first season of The Apprentice, which had come out on DVD, and I spent the entire weekend, like 30 hours, listening to every single episode of The Apprentice, and I broke his voice down by throat placement, nasal placement, vocal production, cadence, and all those things you do as an impressionist to figure out where a voice is coming from and how it's manufactured by that person.
And you do an amazing job, not just as Donald Trump, but all of the characters that you do. I was on your website. It is amazing how spot on you are. And the funny thing is, you don't just sound like these people. You somehow change the look of your face to look like these people as well.
Yes, that's my specialty, is to really just inhabit the person. I was trained as an actor, and for me, it's got to be a complete and total transformation. You know, so if I'm doing Austin Powers, baby, it's going to be the complete physicality. You know what I mean?
And now, do you ever get lost in the middle of this, the real John DiDomenico? Do you ever wake up and go, who am I really? Because I'm all these other people, too.
Isn't that the oldest question for mankind? Like, who am I? No, unfortunately, I never do get lost, because all of my bills and my mortgage payment is addressed to me. So it kind of wakes me up when they come in the mail. But, I travel a lot. I'm on the road about 25, 30 weeks a year performing. So there are those occasions when I wake up in a hotel room and I have no idea where I am.
Well, you were mentioning mortgage payment. I'm assuming when Donald Trump started running for office, you absolutely positively had to see an increase in business. It's probably a little easier to pay the bills these days. Are you as busy as I think you are?
Oh, yeah. I'm working pretty much all the time now. It's been incredible. But it didn't happen at first. And during the last election cycle, there was a little bit of a bump when he was toying with the idea of running. And when this happened, when he announced June 16th last year, it's kind of like one of those things like, where were you June 16th, 2015? So I can plainly remember, and my Facebook page blew up, and my Twitter and my phone, and people were just, oh my God, dude, you're set for life. And I said, hold on, let's see what happens, because he had dropped out last time.
Yeah.
And that first month, I was starting to get phone calls, and things were starting to happen slowly. And then he made the John McCain comments.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that was a good month. That world, boy, that went down like a balloon. But then, as we all know, the opposite happened. His numbers started going up and going up and going up. And what I said was to my friends who were asking, what do you think? And you're going to be able to leverage this. I said, if he can make it to the very first debate, I'll be good for the fall.
Yeah.
Because that'll put him on that, that'll get him out there. It'll legitimize him as a politician. And we all know, not only did he do the first debate, he crushed the first debate, the second debate, the third debate. And as he kept going, I kept getting more and more calls. I ended up on Conan O'Brien. I'm the Donald Trump for Conan O'Brien. I'm the Donald Trump for Fox Red Eye, which is a kind of a humorous news panel show. I've been on there about 20 different times. I'm the voice of Donald Trump for Slate.com's Trumpcast. I've done a ton of voiceover commercials. I did a commercial for 360 Fly, which is about Trump unveiling the wall about a year from now. That's got millions and millions of hits. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've shared that on Facebook myself. I the first time I saw it, I laughed because, first of all, you did a spot-on impression of Donald Trump. So I believe that might actually be how I first discovered you and how, because I started on this mission just 2 weeks ago. But if that wasn't the first thing I saw, it was very close to it. But then when I was watching it, it was a well-written and very funny, as far as commercials go, very funny commercial as well. And it really...
And big, and very big in scale, too. I was kind of blown away.
Unbelievable. Usually you see a commercial for a product, there may be 2 or 3 people in the ad, but this that was quite a production, and I don't know how they made that wall. It looks real. Everything looks like that's really happening.
Directly behind me, they literally had built a set piece that was the wall. That middle section really is real.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And it was huge. And it was, let me tell you, it was huge, really, really big. And then beyond that, as far as the eye could see, they did green screen, but was the same height. So they were able to project that in. But all the news vans, all the people, all that was real. It was quite. I was like, wow. I've worked on movies, I've worked on television, but this was like one of the biggest things I'd ever been on.
Now, where was that located? Where was the filming done?
That was shot in Simi Valley at what's called the Movie Ranch. They do a lot of TV shows there, a lot of movies there. It's part of where they did MASH, shows like that.
Nice. On the phone right now with JohnDiDomenico, and he is an impersonation. I don't know what you call it exactly. What do you? An impersonator? Is that what you call it?
Well, I'm an impersonator. Impressionist is just the voice. Impersonator is kind of the full body. I like to think of myself as an extreme impersonator because I go to the nth degree to get everything exactly right. Like my Trump wigs are all custom made, and I'm wearing real Trump ties and the suits and the shoes and blue contacts, and I try to really nail it. And I practice every single day.
I was flipping through the channels the other day, and I saw, I don't even remember what the channel was or what the show was, but they had a terrible, terrible Trump impersonator. And all I could think of is, why didn't they call Johnny D? I mean, this guy could have taken care of these people because you do such an amazing job. Now, if people listening right now are saying, I absolutely want to hire this guy to come do an event, how do they find you? How do they get a hold of you? How does all of that happen?
So you can go to my website, johnnyd.net, which is JOHNNYD.net, and you can fill out the form there. That goes directly to the agents, my agents, key artist group that represent me, and they take care of all my bookings, and I'm on the road constantly. I just did 5 cities in a row. I'm going back to L.A. to shoot some more stuff. I have some other things coming up for one of the cable networks. So I'm constantly working, but my main bread and butter is corporate.
Nice.
So that's my main thing. I go in, and I'm going to Vancouver on Friday to roast the CEO of a Canadian real estate company. So Trump's perfect for that.
Nice.
So, and I was just there for another huge company. I can't mention the company name, but the CEO is moving from Canada to the U.S., so we did a whole thing about the birth certificate and him coming down here and running the company. So we had a lot of fun with that. So Trump's a great character. He makes it really easy. He's creating new material every single day. And usually my act runs anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. It can be any size. I mean, whatever anybody wants. But I try to make it as interactive and as fun, and I always customize it to the group so it's really memorable. And I mentioned a lot of people, and I roast a bunch of people during the course of it.
So what are some of the more unusual requests that you have gotten since Donald Trump put his name on a ballot? I'm assuming like we said before, I know you've been busy. I knew you would be because you're such an amazingly talented guy. But what are some of the more bizarre requests that you've had people ask you to do as Trump?
Oh, it's for the corporate stuff's pretty much the same in commercials and things like that. But we've had people. The most unusual one was for an event, and they wanted Trump in a dunk tank. And they said, yeah, we're going to have you as, people be throwing stuff, and you'll be dropping into the water, and it'll be really funny, and you can yell, you're fired, and I was like, are you kidding me? You want me to put on like a $1,500 suit and a $4,000 wig, and you want to sink me?
Yeah.
I was like, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
That would be fun.
They're like, oh yeah, your suit's going to get wet. And this was these people had really wanted to hire me to do this. I was just kind of blown away.
Well, you probably could have found a way to do it. Maybe if you had a swimming suit with dollar signs on it, and could have put like one of those little shower cap things on over any kind of wig.
God. That's hilarious.
Again, visiting right now with JohnDiDomenico, and he is an amazing impersonator of Donald Trump. If you've not yet seen his work, you got to go check it out. We've got it on our website, politicalstorm.com, and we've got links on our Facebook page as well, so you can go check it out there. But very, very good work. It's been a lot of fun to visit with you. Now, I'm assuming that you're hoping that Donald Trump becomes president, because then you've pretty much got it made for the rest of your life. But what happens if he doesn't become president? Do you think that's going to change the amount of requests, or do you think it's going to keep up either way?
I think it's going to, honestly, Donald Trump is not going anywhere. In these last 4 years, you'll notice that he was always in the news every 2 weeks, sometimes even more. And, he doesn't really have at that point, he has no political, he's not a former senator or this. It is amazing how much press he gets for just who he is. So if he doesn't get elected for some reason, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's not, and in fact, I think the election will probably be pretty close. Actually, I take that back. I'm on the road a great deal, and everyone I come in contact with, and this is anecdotal, of course, but everybody I meet is saying they're voting for Trump.
Yeah.
98%. I'll have people, lean over to me like, I don't like you, but my kids do, so I just want to get a photo with you, that kind of thing. But I've had CEOs and CFOs and, heads of major companies will do a photo op after my event, and they'll lean in and say, hey, I'm voting for you. So I think people are going to be surprised. If for some reason he doesn't win, Trump even said himself he's a whiner. So he will whine until he wins. And if he doesn't win, he'll be, listen, you know what? This election was rigged. It was terrible. These were bad numbers. These are horrible numbers, I have to tell you. All of this voting equipment is just terrible. It's outdated. It's outmoded. We've got to do the whole thing over again. I don't care how much it costs. It's got to be done. So, he will not go quietly into that good night. So that only benefits me. So if he wins, I win. If he doesn't win, I'm still going to get a decent amount of time out of it.
That's awesome.
But it would be incredible for me at this stage of the game to have him win and to know that, wow, 4 years of work is pretty much guaranteed. And a buddy of mine is Reggie Brown, and he's like the top Obama impersonator, and he's just had an amazing 8-year run from TV appearances to commercials to everything else, and working internationally. Because obviously, we look at the president here as the leader of our country, but he's the leader of the free world. And the world, doesn't matter who the U.S. president is, he will be embraced globally.
So, have you had a chance to meet the real Donald J. Trump yet?
Yes, I did his 55th birthday party as Austin Powers. I jumped out of a tape.
So you jumped out of a cake at his birthday party.
I jumped out of a cake. It was Atlantic. It was the Atlantic City, the castle, which was run by Ivana, and it was his 55th birthday party. And I was hired, and there were a lot of local celebrities. And I remember the cast from The Sopranos was there, and I had a whole bit where I jumped out of a cake. I gave him a gift of either 12 or 24 models. I forget exactly. We all went up on stage. We did a big kick line. At the very end, we did a little patter on stage, and that was it.
That's really cool.
That's my Trump story, yeah. And my first Donald Trump wig, the very first one going back to 2004, 2005, was actually from the Visa commercial that Donald Trump did. This was the wig of his stand-in, of his body double.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating, it's kind of incredible that I was able to get my hands on it.
Well, I'm really excited that we had a chance to finally catch up because I feel like a bit of a stalker. You know, when I first saw that very first piece that I saw online, then I was searching for your name and I was Googling you and looking up all this stuff. And in addition to Donald Trump, you do a bunch of other spot-on impressions. So it's absolutely fascinating to visit with you as yourself and as Donald Trump. And who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to chat again in the future. It's been a lot of fun to chat so far.
John, it's been absolutely incredible. It's really, really been amazing. And I have to tell you, your ratings after this are going to be absolutely incredible. They're going to go through the roof. You're going to be really, really huge.
Again, Donald J. Trump right there. And JohnDiDomenico. Again, thank you so much for chatting with us. It's been a whole lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. It was a blast. Thanks, John.
Again, our guest today has been John D. Domenico, and his website, one more time, is johnnyd.net. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This is Donald Trump. You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. If you don't listen, you're fired. Let me tell you, it's huge.
John and Heidi.
Do you buy lottery tickets? Maybe you wait till the jackpot is big, then you buy one. I was like that too. Like my odds got better because the jackpot was more. Well, I think I found something that actually will give me a better chance to win. It's called Lotto-licious. I learned about this from Richard Lustig. He literally wrote the book on how to win the lottery, and he should know. He's a 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Richard plays and endorses Lotto-licious, and I just signed up too. I'd love it if you join Richard and I. You can play Powerball and Mega Millions without even going to the store. Sign up right now at RadioLottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
No matter where you stand in the state of Michigan, you're never more than 85 miles away from a Great Lake.
Oh.
Yeah, 85 miles is the furthest you could be in the state of Michigan from a Great Lake. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The Dull Men's Hall of Fame is located in Carroll, Wisconsin.
The Dull Man's Hall. What on earth is in there?
A dull man, apparently? I don't know. I kind of want to see it now. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Alabama was the first state to recognize Christmas as an official holiday. That's pretty cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
We spoke of Michigan earlier. They were the first state to have roadside picnic tables.
Oh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The official beverage of Ohio is tomato juice. I like tomato juice. Got to mix it with a little bit of beer, but then it's really good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen you drink just tomato juice.
I don't really drink it a whole lot, but when I do drink a beer, I usually put a little tomato juice in there. As my dad called it, I'm from South Dakota, so that was what we referred to as a South Dakota martini. I don't think that's really what it's called. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A pineapple is a berry.
You said something like that the other day. I had no clue that was a...
And our final fun fact for you, 84% of raw apple is water. So 84% of an apple is just water. There you go. A couple of fun facts for you on a Wednesday.
Whether you're an experienced shooter or someone new to self-defense, Front Sight Firearms Training Institute has a course for you. You may recognize Front Sight from their reality TV show filmed at this private range 45 minutes west of Las Vegas. A diamond lifetime membership is $15,000, but we have a special price of just $3,000 available now only at radiosavings.com. This lifetime membership allows you to take over 50 courses as often as you'd like at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute. Get this deal right now at radiosavings.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Not only does exercise help you lose weight, it increases your heart health, but according to some experts, it can also help you cut the risk of cancer. I mean, that's good news with a cherry on top.
That's awesome.
A new study suggests adults who are regularly active, whether through exercise or work, are less likely to develop a range of cancers. The study followed 80,000 Japanese adults for about 10 years. Researchers discovered that regularly active men and women had lower risks of developing any type of cancer. When they looked at specific types of cancer, they found that exercise was linked to lower risks of colon cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and stomach cancer. They also found that the protective effect was strongest among normal weight men and women. Yep. So what they're saying is, there's good excuse to get your butt off the office chair, walk around the office a little bit, get the blood flowing. So that's good stuff.
I think you have to do more than just walk around the office just a bit. They're saying exercise.
Well, exercise is good.
That
and
does not count.
I really like the point that you were making a little bit ago when I was telling you about this. You were saying that this could explain the increase in
absolutely.
cancer. Because
you and I need to exercise a little more often.
Over the last couple of decades, we seem to have found more and more things to preoccupy us from exercising. We're sitting around watching TV. We're sitting around on social media. We're sitting around doing all the stuff that we're doing, just sitting in a sedentary lifestyle. So it does make a ton of sense that this could be, hopefully, an answer to that, and maybe could be a way to get off your duff for a little bit and decrease your risk of cancer.
There you go.
Good stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
Hey, this is Tim from Hope and Faith Machine Works. Are you having one of these days?
How in the world am I going to do that?
Or even,
if I could just have this, my life would be so much easier.
Well, this kind of stuff is my specialty. At Hope and Faith Machine Works, we work with anyone who needs something built, fabricated, or just done right. We've done medical, industrial, PLC, and prototype designs. You can reach us at yourhopeourfaith.com. That's yourhopeourfaith.com.
Want to try out a new diet, Heidi?
Sure.
How about the pork rind diet?
No, thank you.
There's a new way to diet without having to eat rice cakes or drink Slim Fast. Go grab a bag of pork rinds and watch the pounds melt away. The idea behind the pork rind diet is that cutting your carbs lowers blood sugar levels, thus triggering insulin production, which burns fat for fuel. There's a lady that says by eating 2 bags of pork rinds a week for 2 months, she shed... Guess how much pounds?
50.
Guess how much pounds? I can't.
You're not speaking today.
Guess how much pounds? No, how many pounds? It was 17.
Oh.
Nutritionists are warning, however,
that's not worth it.
that an all-fat diet can lead to heart and kidney disease, but is also, but it isn't stopping the U.S. sales of pork rinds. The fat has helped the snack become the fastest-growing snack in America.
I have no interest at all in eating pork rinds.
I've had pork rinds before, and I'm not a big fan. But if that's your thing, that's cool. I just think it's an interesting concept to base an entire diet around pork rinds.
Yeah, that does not. No thanks.
I think I've seen it all now. Coming up, we've got another way to lose some weight, and what's worked really well for a man, and he's lost over 50 pounds. We'll tell you about that coming up here in a bit.
John and Heidi.
I don't know what the deal is today. Apparently, when I was online getting all my info for this, I was really in the
diet
mood.
and exercise day.
We've been walking more. We've been kind of doing some stuff.
Okay, you know what? We probably better clarify that. We intend to go for a walk.
And
we
then we
leave,
meet
and then
new
we end up
neighbors
going
and-
for a stand.
We go and stand. Hey, at least we got off the sofa. Well, a man decided to lose weight by mowing people's lawns. I think we talked about this.
We
but I don't
did.
know if it was on the radio or if it was just because I read it online. A 44-year-old man in Minnesota put an ad online saying, I'll mow your lawn for free. I'm trying to lose weight. He was trying to lose 50 pounds. Well, he's done it now. He hoped to mow 5 lawns a week, 4 others plus his own. Well, he got quite a response and dates from 3 women.
Yeah, I heard that.
He bumped his lawn mowing up to 6 yards and started a backup list. Now he's mowing 8 lawns 7 days a week. Terry Bethauser said that that's one of his customers. It's one of his Friday customers. Decided that since he didn't really need his lawn mowed, he would help 2 people that Nelson couldn't fit into his schedule. By the end of the mowing season, Nelson hopes to be at 208 pounds from his high of 258. He's already lost 23 pounds. So I was wrong. I thought that he already hit the goal, but he's halfway there. That's really
good for
kind
him.
of cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
And he's doing something
and
good
he's getting
for others,
exercise,
too.
so he's also lowering his risk for cancer.
See, there you go. All these stories work
It's a
together.
win-win.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
John and Heidi.
This has been quite an election so far, and we've got a long ways to go. Stay informed at politicalstorm.com. It's a cool site with political news and information on the campaigns, plus a place to chime in and have a say in what you think. If you're into politics, you need to check out politicalstorm.com. Get informed from several different sources all in one place. Listen to podcasts like mine and learn about current election topics, read fun editorials, and engage your brain. It's your country. It's your vote. It's your voice. Politicalstorm.com. That's politicalstorm.com.
John and Heidi.
If being in love has ever made you do something silly or stupid, there could be a scientific reason behind that. First of all, I have to ask you, Heidi, has being in love ever made you do something crazy or stupid?
Yes.
What's like what?
Getting married.
Hey, wait a minute, you married me. Well, a new study from the University of London shows that love often makes people forget facts and lose their concentration. Brain scans on volunteers showed that areas responsible for memory and concentration became less active when they were shown pictures of their loved ones. And they think that there's something to the study that, if you're in love with somebody, then you kind of forget about common sense and other things, and you do things that are irrational. I think that there's something to that. Because I know there are times that I absolutely positively shouldn't do things, but because it's you or it's our daughter or our son that asked me to do it, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go out of my way and I'll go get that for you. Like our daughter, she'll send me a message, hey, can you bring home some chocolate? Daddy, can you bring me home some, can you stop at the store? Can you stop here? Can you... Yeah, I suppose I'll do that.
Well, what do you mean it's something you shouldn't do?
Irrational.
Why shouldn't you?
Oh, because we shouldn't be doing that stuff. We should be eating healthy. Remember, we should be walking and all that stuff that we were talking about today.
I do
on this
agree.
program.
We definitely need to
all right.
move more.
Good news on the way. We've got some good news on the way. There you go. That's on the way. And it's good news. And it's on the way. Thanks for listening.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. And I think I've got some good news today. A girl from Cumberland, Maine got the surprise of a lifetime when she heard from a fisherman in Spain. This is the second time now. I even went back to see if this was the same story. It's a different story.
Okay.
Second time in like a month that we've had a story about this. This one is a fisherman in Spain found 3 of her messages. I'm sorry. He found a message in a bottle that she tossed into the Atlantic 3 years ago. I knew there was a 3 in there somewhere. Yahoo News says Terry Gallo, who's 14 now, was visiting her aunt who lives on a thing called the Mohegan Island back in 2013. They decided to release about 10 bottles with messages. They went into the waters and see where they turn up. Well, years passed. The family kind of forgot about the bottles until a very unfamiliar letter arrived in the mail this last week. The bottle had traveled about 3,200 miles before being found by a fisherman in Spain.
Oh, that's cool.
Why would it say an unfamiliar letter? Wouldn't it be a familiar letter? Because it's the one that she sent. Wouldn't it be the... That doesn't make a lot of sense in the story.
If it was a letter from him, it would be unfamiliar. They wouldn't know who he was.
Well, you'd think that he would have probably sent them the letter that was thrown in the bottle, wouldn't he? I don't know how this works. I've never found...
You're really overthinking that statement.
I probably am. I've never found a message in a bottle. When I was a kid, we used to do that, though. Did you do that as a kid, too? Like put...
In a lake? It's going to go from one side of the lake to the other. I mean, I don't know what you think.
People find it like, wow, this traveled all the way across the lake.
I'm your neighbor. I found this bottle. It washed right back on the shore.
And I got to ask you, please quit throwing your trash in the lake. I'm not just throwing trash in the lake. I'm throwing messages in bottles.
You're kidding. You didn't do messages in a bottle on a lake.
On a river. We did it on a river. Why? What's wrong with that? It flows downstream.
Okay.
Pretty sure they broke on the dam.
On the
rocks. Probably didn't work so hot. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.